What's going on, guys? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this What Do I Think video is giving you guys my thoughts about Apple's most recent WWDC event that took place on October 22nd. Yep, I was just looking at my calendar right there. Which took place on Tuesday at the San Francisco Moscone Center, and Apple announced a ton of stuff. So let's get right onto it. So Apple, what did they cover? They covered new iWork applications, like the new updated iWork applications, the new updated iLife applications. Those types of applications, they're great changes, but I'm not too interested in them because I never used them before. Plus, I don't own a Mac, I own a PC, even though I could get it on my iOS device right here, but I don't know how it'll be compatible with Windows. Oh well. As far as the Macs are concerned, they upgraded. They did like some minor upgrades to the MacBook Pro Retina display, which is pretty neat for those of you guys that like that machine. And as far as the Mac Pro, the little cylinder computer tower, they gave more information on it. In addition, they gave a release date, and it'll be coming soon for the holidays. So if you guys want to get your hands on a Mac Pro, you better save up your money because the thing costs, like, I believe it's like almost $3,000 or a little bit over that. But let's get on to the stuff that I think was supposed to be the most attraction for the event, and that is the two iPads that were announced at this event. What did they announce? The 5th generation iPad, which they call the iPad Air. So they pretty much took the name from the MacBook Air as the iPad Air. So does this mean this iPad is in the air? I don't know, because when Steve Jobs first announced the MacBook Air from that event that I watched, like the very first generation of the MacBook Air, he gave it a slogan: "There's something in the air." So is that the same thing for the iPad Air? I don't know. I don't know where they came up with that name, but oh well. There you have it. You got a 5th generation iPad with a name. Looks pretty slick. It's actually similar in terms of the design to the iPad Mini. So it's pretty much an oversized iPad Mini, or a full-size iPad Mini. Don't say oversized, I meant full-size. Well, which is great. And then they added the A7 chip in there. No Touch ID sensor on there. People were expecting the Touch ID sensor that was found on the, well, not this particular iPhone, this is the iPhone 4, but the iPhone 5S, where you can put your finger on it, and then it'll use your fingerprint to do various things, such as like unlock your device, or download an app with just your fingerprint, so you don't have to keep typing in your Apple ID, or buy an application with your fingerprint. But yeah, that was not found on the iPad Air, which some people were disappointed. But then again, that shouldn't be a big reason why you shouldn't get this tablet, because the Touch ID sensor is nice, but from what I've heard from a reviewer that I watch on YouTube on a daily basis, well, I'm subscribed to him, and he was saying that the Touch ID sensor sometimes works and sometimes it doesn't, and he has an iPhone 5S, so the Touch ID, if it's not there, it's not a big negative on why the iPad Air should not be bought. Now, the iPad Mini with Retina display, all they did was they put a Retina display in there with upgraded specs. I believe that the design, from the looks of it, is pretty much the same thing as the iPad Mini. The only thing I see is like the volume rockers. Well, I'm not even sure if I'm looking at this right. They're switched onto the right side. Now, maybe I'm just confusing myself. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of too many things in my head because my mind is gone blind. No, I'm just kidding, but I don't know. Apple announced a ton of stuff. So what do I think about these products released? Apple, again, they're always making improvements into their products, and people will keep buying them because they love Apple's ecosystem. And not only that, it just works for most people, and that's why people keep buying these devices, and they keep buying these computers from Apple. So the iPad Air is nice, and the iPad Mini Retina display is nice. Again, I will not be buying them, but for those of you guys that are buying them, which one are you gonna get? Are you gonna get the iPad Air? Or are you gonna get the iPad Mini with Retina display? Which one do you like better? Do you like the iPad Air for the size, or do you like the iPad Mini Retina display for the size and the portability? Are you gonna to sell your current MacBook Pro Retina display or your current computer, whatever it is, for the most updated MacBook Pro Retina display? Or are you gonna like sell all your computers and use the money to save up for the new Mac Pro? You know, go ahead and leave a comment down below on what you guys are gonna do, what you're gonna buy, as well as your thoughts on these products. So overall, my thoughts about this conference: Apple announced some nice stuff, but then again, these weren't like drastic changes. They just like announced some new devices. But then again, it's like any other Apple event. I've been watching these events for maybe 3 or 4 years now, so I'm getting the routine of how Apple is doing these events. Even when Tim Cook is taking Steve Jobs' place when at the keynotes. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and enjoy your new iPads or computers if you are getting them.